What'd you just do to me? Alright. So we've got Shaker 1000. Shaker 1000 out of a 2011 Mustang. And what we've done is we've upgraded the speaker box and the subwoofers. Got some kicker subs, 4 ohm. CVR 10, 4 ohm. Stupid iPhone won't focus on that. There you go, 4 ohm. These are the CVR 10s. Their stock numbers, I think it says 07 CVR 104. Anyhow, so there's nothing on the internet about how to do this, so it's all been trial and error. And here's what I've done so far. I've got 2 ports in the top of the Shaker 1000 box. It's 1.5 wide, 6 inches high. That's the dimensions. You can see there's the ports inside. The one problem I ran into is if you check the diagram for wiring in parallel, which is what you want to do from the Shaker 1000 amp, it says for dual 4 ohm voice coil, which is what we bought, you want to wire it down to 2 ohms. But if you notice, it's got one wire coming in from the amplifier and another wire coming in for an amplifier. But in this case, if you look here, we've got 4 wires coming in from the amplifier. So what do? Well, usually, I found on the internet, usually the striped wires are positive and the solid wires are negative. So to do that, you do a pop test. Take a battery, AA, put a wire on one side and a wire on the other. Excuse me, are you laughing at me?
Yeah, you said striped.
Striped. Excuse me. A girl who plays Skyrim is making fun of my redneck dialect. But you're a girl that plays Skyrim.
That's okay, I had to tell you how to do that anyway.
And we're going to omit that last comment because girls are stupid. But anyhow, here's how you wire it up. And know that you wired it up correctly. And I stole this off the internet. Some girl actually made a video called a pop test. But what I did was I followed the internet's advice of striped wire equals positive, solid wire equals negative. Striped, not striped, or striper if you really like 80s rock. And what I did was, you see I've got this wired into coil 1, which on the kicker they denote the coils with the dot. So that's coil 1. And this is coil 2. So this is wired up to coil 1 already with the battery. Now all we do is take the other end of the AA battery and we're going to make sure the speaker pushes out. If the speaker pushes out, it's right. If the speaker sucks in, it's backwards, it's wrong. So it's really helpful if you have 2 people, but I do everything myself because my girlfriend plays PlayStation all day. So
I bought new floors for the house today.
and you bought new floors, I'll give you that. So touch the battery. And it's hit me in the leg now. Probably can't see it good, but you'll be able to feel it. Okay, so it's pushing out. Yay! I wired it correctly. So let me step back and get a view of all this mess I have in the floor. So there's the speaker box, and all I've done is I've added this high gauge extension because there wasn't a lot to work with. If you see, this is where the end of the factory speakers ended, so it was a pain in the ass to try to wire it all up. So all I did was just add high gauge extensions with little crimps. And so I've got one side wired up correctly, which I just proved with the popper. And again, a popper, all it is a AA battery with one piece of speaker wire on positive and one piece of speaker wire on negative. And my next video, you'll actually see me take this box with the speakers mounted and wired in parallel, and we'll mount it inside the 2011 Mustang. Oh, real quick, I guess I can show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna wire it this diagram. So got one wire's coming in positive, one's coming negative, and we're gonna do a crisscross with the wires. So I can actually take apart my little popper gig and use these wires, and I'm just gonna crisscross across the coils so it'll look like that. So it'll be black dot to red solid. I'm sorry, that's not right. It'll be red dot to red solid, black dot to black solid. So I'm going to make an X with two pieces of wire. That's after I wire in these main amplifier wires to positive and negative. So wire up your positive and negative to the coil first, to coil number 1, and then you do your crisscross over to coil number 2. These are DVCs, dual voice coil, 4 ohm kicker subs, and a Shaker 1000 for a 2011 Mustang GT. And that's a computer nerd.